everyone, this is Celissa Roberts, and we're here today to talk about infancy development. Infancy development is an area of the lifespan development process with tremendous growth and learning. The brain is rapidly developing. In fact, according to Murat Boyson, the brain develops rapidly during the first 3 months of life, and then brain development begins to plateau. Infancy development is also an opportunity for the infant to start communicating right away. And although a newborn baby isn't verbal, if you ask any new parents, they're going to tell you that their baby doesn't need to be able to talk to show you what he or she needs. Infants cry, smile, and coo. Their temperament and personality also begin to show themselves very early on in infancy. And infancy development really is marked by the primary task of this life stage is to establish trust. The infant is really learning if they can respond, if they can have their needs responded to by their loved ones, and establishing trust with their caretakers or their parents. So let's turn our attention to healthy social development, and we'll start with temperament. Thomas and Chess classified temperament in 3 different areas: easy, difficult, and slow to warm up. Easy was marked by a child being easygoing, a child being easy to soothe after they've been frustrated, and someone that adapts well to different situations. And you can contrast and compare that with a difficult classification. The difficult children were anxious, and when they were upset, they weren't as easy to soothe, and it took them longer to be able to adjust to new situations. And the 3rd classification was slow to warm up. And slow to warm up is a combination of both easy and difficult temperaments. The way that a parent or a caretaker can address a difficult temperament is by using goodness of fit. And goodness of fit really is pausing and thinking about what the child needs and responding to the child in a way that satisfies whatever their need is. So temperament is really a combination of both genetic and environmental factors, and using the goodness of fit, then you're able to use the environment to be able to help modify the child's behavior. And in that interaction, an attachment develops. And attachment is really important in healthy social development with infants. And attachment really can be defined as that reciprocal interaction between a child and their caretaker or their parent. And that reciprocal interaction is establishing the emotional connectivity that's required for attachment. It's also interesting to note that around the time that a child is 8 or 9 months old, they start to be able to use social referencing. And social referencing is where an infant looks at the environment when something happens to get cues on how to be able to respond. Now let's go ahead and turn our attention to healthy emotional development. Healthy emotional development is marked by the infant displaying primary emotions. And primary emotions are going to be culturally universal emotions. These are going to be emotions such as joy and anger. And as a child gets older and has more self-awareness, say at 6 months old, they can begin to demonstrate self-conscious emotions. Self-conscious emotions can include empathy and embarrassment. They can also include pride and shame. Healthy emotional development also is the ability to start interpreting the emotions of others. I did want to pause here on slide 5 and talk a little bit about anxiety, because around the time that the child turns 1, they've now spent a lot of time with their parents or their caretakers. And anxiety in this aged child is normal. And a couple of different forms of anxiety that the child can have are stranger anxiety and separation anxiety. So stranger anxiety is where they grow wary of new people that are around them. And separation anxiety is when they are experiencing anxiety when their primary caregiver or their parent isn't readily available or has left their side. Now let's turn our attention to healthy moral development. Schreiner and Schreiner define moral development as the gradual changes seen in individuals with regard to right and wrong as evidenced by their thoughts, behaviors, or feelings. Heteronymous thinking or heteronymous morality is characterized by believing that the rules and justice are unchangeable, that they're absolutes. And as a child begins to learn, they move from heteronymous morality to autonomous morality in thinking. And in autonomous morality in thinking, they're now beginning to focus on intentions and consequences that govern rules and behaviors and not think of them as absolutes. It's also interesting that Mattson offered some research that shows that even small infants prefer individuals who are pro-social and trying to help. Even in the early stages, an infant prefers someone who's trying to help them. And the research shows that intention is more important than the actual outcome. I did want to pause and talk a little bit about healthy brain development. Healthy brain development is vital in infancy, and a way to promote healthy brain development is by ensuring that infants develop healthy sleeping habits. Murat Boyson offered that sleep deprivation can create permanent deficits in motor and cognitive developments in infants. A lot of the research that has been done in this area has been done on older children and adults, but it's worthy of noting to ensure that children get the proper amount of sleep that they need so that they have healthy development and avoid emotional problems. So as we've seen, healthy infant development involves proper emotional, social, and moral development. A balance of all three provides the infant the proper foundation to grow and prosper. And in conclusion, infancy is a wondrous time of learning and growing. The best thing that we can all do is to become educated about what's needed to promote healthy infant development. Infants need to be supported in their emotional, social, and moral development. We can best provide them with love and support, ensure that they have what they need in terms of sleep and things like nutrition. Then we can just stand back and watch them grow, reveling in seeing their little personalities revealing themselves. And as parents and caretakers, we can use the goodness of fit approach to help guide difficult behavior by responding with what the child needs at the right time. The process is the same, but we customize the approach to suit the uniqueness of each infant. Thank you.